Good morning, guys. I'm just coming to you with a word today. It's sad that people around you or people in your life, they really don't want the best for you. I'm 64 years old, and throughout the years, I've noticed how people move when you're trying to do something positive. I'll give you some examples. I'm on a weight loss journey, doing very good. I got one neighbor in my building who's a Christian, but every time he sees me and he has candy, he try to push it my way. And I said, I'm not eating sweets. He just laughed. People do that and they think it's funny, but they're doing it intentionally. I have other neighbors who knock on my door knowing that I'm doing videos, and I tell them, don't knock on the door, because I'm busy. They'll knock on the door and then walk away. One lady did it yesterday, and I got up, went to my door, nobody was there. I put a sign on my door. She came back and tore it down, then told me she did it. Thought it was so funny. But you know what the funny thing was? After I put the note on my door, I left and went to the gym. Well, she came back and decided she was going to mess with me some more. And she said she knocked and sat out there for 15 minutes until she said, well, she must really don't want to be bothered. And I laughed. I said, no, I wasn't at home. I went to take my walk. You had to call me. I would have told you I wasn't at home. But see, that's exactly what she get. Wasted her time trying to mess with me. People, they don't have your best interest at heart. That same neighbor, when I first told her that I was going to exercise to lose some weight, that ain't going to work. When I told her I'm doing certain exercises to get my stomach flat, oh, I love to see that. This same neighbor, last year, when I said I was going to start my business back up, oh, honey, that's a waste of time in this economy, all this, that, and the other. Started my business anyway. I'm doing gift baskets. So she, I guess, thought she'd come down and interrupt my flow. People do not want your best interest. They would do everything to discourage you, to interrupt you, to try to make you have a bad day. I don't know what's wrong with people. I say all the time on this channel, think for yourself. Because if you don't learn to think for yourself in this life, you'll never get anything done. You won't. People will discourage you before you can even get started. Keep your business to yourself. My own mom did witchcraft on me for more than 40 years because she thought I was winning. And she was going to make sure I wasn't. When I found out and I have no contact, I'm so blessed now. If she only knew how blessed I was, she would be trying to find a way to get that witchcraft back on me. She would go to the ends of the earth to try to get it back on me because she know what it did for more than 40 years. I was so confused. It was like I was living under a black cloud and I just couldn't understand what was going on. I said, no one can have this much bad luck. No one. And I was telling her everything. Oh, well, things have changed. No. She's trying to make sure things stayed the same and got worse. It's just sad how she wanted my information when I had to file for disability. She kept asking me about when my hearing was. I need your date and time of your hearing. And the Holy Spirit told me, don't tell her nothing. And she kept asking me. She even tried to go through my brother. And when I wouldn't tell her, she thought she'd try one last attempt. Called me, look, I need to know the date and time of that hearing. As soon as you find out, you call me and you let me know. Do you understand? You let me know. And that was the last straw. I said, it's something going on. Because she wants that information so bad. And I put two and two together. I says, for years, she has always asked me about my personal business. I had been told right before I turned 50 years old that somebody was doing witchcraft on me. And I knew exactly who it was. I was in denial, but I knew who it was. And I was going through so much hell. And I wondered, I says, why does she need my information? My information that has nothing to do with her. And the Holy Spirit had me to start connecting the dots throughout all the years. And when I started connecting the dots and didn't tell her, when I say my life has changed, I won't even say exactly how much it has changed. Because she might find this channel and get her information from that. I'll just say, when God say he'll give you double for your trouble, that is so true. You know, we have to look at people's motives and spirits behind things. We have to pray to tell God to remove those people out of our lives when their motives and their intentions aren't pure for our lives. Because some people will act like they have pure motives for your life, and it's pure jealousy. And I'm sorry to say, but a lot of Christians, people who claim to be Christians, people who are up in God's church every Sunday, they don't have your best intentions. They don't have your best intentions at all. Those are the ones who would try to discourage you in everything you do. Because both of the people that I talked to you about earlier, about the guy giving me candy and about the other woman telling me, well, this ain't gonna work and this, both of them, they up in church every Sunday. And it's like, why are people even going to church now when they don't realize they are carrying around a demonic spirit? When you see somebody trying to accomplish something and you try to interrupt them, why? I've never understood people like that. God has given me a fantastic creative talent. And throughout the years, people have told me, oh, I can do that. Oh, I'm going to start me a balloon company. Oh, that ain't nothing. Girl, ain't nobody going to buy that. And it's like, why? Why are you trying to tell me this? Why are you trying to discourage me? Why are you just making the statements that you're making? Throughout the years, I just noticed people, and I notice how they move, and I notice how they act. And I have to pray that God remove those people from my life. I pray and I ask God to help them people keep their thoughts to themselves. I pray and I ask God to not let their statements affect me and what I'm doing in my life. And I just keep going. No matter what, I keep right on going and let them people do whatever they want to do, because that's who they are. That's their spirit. And their spirit it's not going to affect my life. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing, and I'm going to do what God has for me to do. You see what my church says? Your gifts will make room. And that's true. God gave all of us talents. Those are your gifts. And your gifts will make room. Don't allow somebody to stop your talent because of what they think. My mom told me years ago, you need to stop doing those balloons and balloon decorations and get a job because you need insurance. I'm 64. I'm still doing my business to a certain degree, and I have insurance. Why would I stop doing the talent that God gave me just because somebody say you need insurance? People will tell you all kind of things because of their jealousy. They don't want you to get ahead. They want you to be beneath them. I was looking at a YouTube video this morning, and the guy said that some people won't work certain jobs because they feel it's beneath them. They would rather suffer than go get any type of job to move up. That's sad. One girl commented on there that if you're working for somebody else, it is beneath you, 100, 100, 100. No, it's not beneath you. Because if you don't have any money to start your own business, but working on a job is a means to an end, and you don't take that job because your mindset is, I'm not going to work for somebody else because that's beneath me. How are you ever going to get to the next step? When I was working for the federal government, I kept saying, this is a means to an end. By the time I stopped working for the federal government, I had so many supplies and different things for my business. When people were being nosy, I had one coworker, she was being nosy. Why do you always have stuff delivered? What is that stuff? What are you going to do with that stuff? And I told her, use it. That same coworker, I went on a cruise one time, and at dinner, they had me sitting at a table with 5 guys. And one of the people said, do you want us to move you? And I says, no, I'm fine with sitting at a table with 5 guys. And I came back and was saying, you know, how I had fun and I was sitting at a table with 5 guys. Of course, she went and spread a rumor, you know, something negative. But guess what? That's on her. That's between her and the good Lord. People will spread rumors to try to defame you and defame your character and everything, and they think it's so funny. But I don't have to answer for that when I leave here. But she does. We all have to answer for the foolishness that we did to others, to try to break them down, to try to hurt them, to try to make them look bad. You know, you just make sure that you keep your integrity intact. Make sure you keep your motives pure. Make sure that you don't try to stop somebody from doing something positive. And God will bless you. It will bless you. I say I'm a chosen one because I've been through so much. And I know others, they sit back and they wonder, but how does she overcome that? How does she overcome being homeless? How does she overcome not being able to get a job and then turn around and got the best job of her life? How does she overcome having bad credit and now she got the best credit of her life? How? It's because God knows my heart. He knows that I want the best for everyone. He knows I'm not out here trying to do demonic things to people. He knows that I'm not out here trying to say negative and demonic stuff to people. He knows I'm not trying to tear down somebody's dream. If you feel like whatever's going on in your life, you can overcome it, and that you can accomplish great things in your life, because that's what you're claiming, and that's what you want, and that's what you're praying to God for, to just help you out in everything you do, it's going to happen. His word says faith without works is dead. His word says write the vision, make it plain. If that's what his word says, I believe it. I believe it. Things have happened in my life that others said weren't going to happen, but they did. And things keep happening in my life because I keep asking God. Ask, believe, and receive. Some of you all better remove people out your life by either moving away from them or praying them out your life if you expect to get anything accomplished in your life. Thank you, guys. Be blessed.